Hello YouTubers, so I've been shopping. We're now in a level 4 lockdown in New Zealand, so I finally got around to making a video on what I've just purchased. So for my 2021 WR450F, I have a TwinAir Powerflow kit. So I'm going to be fitting this. I'll show you the filters side by side. Show you why I've done it. Wanted to give it a go. I've heard it increases your throttle response a lot. Does have a few horsepower as well. Not that I'm looking for more horsepower, because I definitely don't need it on a 450. But yeah. So anyway, I'll take some bits and bolts out of the bike, and then take some more video in the next cut. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pulled some panels off this. So to do so, you need to remove left and right side panels. I find it easier to remove this bolt out the back of the tank. There's this little plastic cover here for the intake. It fills in the gap between the fuel tank and the air intake. So if you remove that, the reason I take the tank bolt out is you can lift this slightly, and it just makes it easier to lift this piece out. It's just held on by 2 screws, and here we have the intake and the backfire screen for the original Yamaha OEM part. So this is the filter, and yeah, and that's the housing. So you can see with the aftermarket intake, there's considerable gaps there, and even more so when you look at the original backfire screen. So I'll get this fitted. So here we have the 2 filters out the bike side by side. So the one on the left is the original OEM stock filter. You can see it's actually quite small filter, particularly for a bike like a 450, drawing more air down it, probably more so on 250s as well, with pulling high revs and airflow. So here's the TwinAir part. So again, I've mentioned about doing it for better filtration and increased flow. I mean, there's a lot more volume here as well. If you're worried about the removal of the backfire screen that's in here, this filter here, this black material is TwinAir's flame retardant material. So if you do get that backfiring happen, it's not going to set fire to your filter and burn a hole in it and essentially damage your bike. So I'll go on to the next stage and remove this, just these bolts, and look at getting the TwinAir kit installed. Okay, so I've moved on to the next stage here now. So I've removed the stock backfire screen, and it's clean as a whistle in there, which is good. Nothing has got past the OEM filter at all. What I would recommend anybody doing with WR450Fs, 250, YZs, etc., is putting a bit of grease around this ridge line. As you can see, I've actually done this on the stock filter cage. It's just Bel-Ray waterproof grease. Just an extra layer of seal. You definitely don't want stuff going down into your engine. So the 2 filter cages essentially. So the one on the left is the OEM one. As you can see, it's quite a bit more choked up than the TwinAir one, which is obviously the whole point of the Powerflow kit. So it's good to see them like that. I think you've got more of an understanding of what this kit actually involves and what it does. Anyway, I'm going to go install that in the bike and start putting it back together. Okay, so installed this. It's on there now. You can see what it looks like versus the stock one. Just wiped off the little bit of excess grease that's squidged out from under here. I think it's well worth spending the extra few minutes just doing that. You can see where it's just sort of smeared out here as well. Just rub that in, and then you got a nice proper seal. There's no reason why you're going to ever have to take this off again, other than perhaps like you sell the bike or something, you want to pull the intake system off it, put it on another one, or sell it to someone, who knows. So yeah, I'd recommend doing that. Anyway, I'm going to get this filter, put some fresh air filter oil on this, and get that put back in the bike, and then I can start putting it back together. Okay, so all oiled up. I'm going to pop this back in the bike. Right, filters in the bike, already oiled. This is just a wing nut that screws down. So just you can see it crank the filter down as it goes down. So you don't need to go crazy, just finger tight, and that's enough. And yeah, so it's quite a dramatic change look-wise. I just need to give the bike a run, see what it's like. So I'll call this part 1, and part 2 will be when I actually try it, but God knows when that will be with the lockdown. So okay, really the final video, all back together, panels on, looking nice and neat and tidy in there. Everything fits absolutely spot on. As with usually any of my uploads, I will throw up the part number and the link to TwinAir's site and their own fitment video. So they probably did a better job of a fitment video than I would. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope somebody liked it, and I'll get some test results up and thoughts when I get a chance to ride it. Thank you. Cheers.